Hey guys, how's it going? Dragox55 here. You might notice something new where it's my old mic again. I just can't get used to the other mic. Like, I don't know. I just really can't. So, anyways, this is my Metalzoa deck. I decided to make this for, funsies. There is like a few other decks I requested, but I decided to take a break from those and mess around with this, so you'll probably see this deck in like 20 billion duels. I'm not kidding either. So anyways, the point of the deck is to bring out Mr. Metalzoa, which is this big guy right here. So let's get started. First off, we have 3 Zoa, pretty easy to mill him. Definitely needed in the deck. He's 2600 attack. A monster whose full potential can be achieved with, well, when outfitted with Metamorph, which is pretty nice. He is a little bit of a pain to get out, but it's not as bad as you would think, because we use stuff like Silent Doom and Swing of Memories and whatever. So, yeah. Also, you can bring out like 2 of them and make a rank 7. Next up, we have 2 Armageddon Knight. Basically, he's in there to mill out the Zoas so we can use Silent Doom and Swing of Memories to actually get stuff going. We have 1 Dark Arm Dragon because we run tons of Darks. 2 Dragox55. The only reason I run him over Dark Custom, which if you don't know what Dark Custom does, it does the same exact thing, except it doesn't matter if it's a normal monster or not, as long as it's dark. But, nope, wrong card. But Dragox55, what it does is that you can treat it for the tribute summon of a dark normal monster. It's treated as 2 tributes for the dark normal monster. And the reason we run 2 of these instead of Dark Custom is because he's searchable with Tomato, which is really good because if you do Tomato, get destroyed with battle, summon Dragox55, the next turn tribute for Zoa, and then just by chance you have Metamorph and make Metalzoa, it's pretty good. We don't run 3 of these because we're trying to focus on trying to get him in the grave, but there is definitely a good 50% chance that you'll draw into Zoa, so discard is definitely needed in the deck. And someone might be asking why I'm not running the Red Eyes in here. It's because of the fact that if you run a Red Eyes Darkness or Red Eyes Black Dragon with the Metamorph build, it would just be too much level 7s and it would just clog up the deck. So, and plus the fact is that you can make a Red Eyes deck and there's more support for Red Eyes than there is for Zoa. So, yeah. So it'd be simpler to do it that way instead of combining it with Metalzoa. So, next up we have Graffer. Usually I never tend to use Graffer, but Graffer is actually pretty nice in this deck, and you might ask why. Well, the fact that is you can mill out Zoa, or you can discard Zoa and special summon him. Then you can normal summon Armageddon Knight if this is just an option here. But you can normal summon Armageddon and mill out another Zoa, I guess, whatever. And then after that you make that Gusto Emerald with the Graffer and the Armageddon, and then you bring back Zoa. Then you would use Metamorph, turn him into Metalzoa. So let's see. The way I put it, yeah, you would have 3 Darks. You would have 1 Armageddon. You would have 2 Zoas, and you would have 2 Zoas and Armageddon. Then you can drop the Dark Arm, which would make 3, and it would just be a lot of shenanigans. And even if you didn't use Daigusto's effect to bring back Zoa, you can still use Daigusto to recycle, so it's pretty nice to have Dark Graffer to make rank 4s. And even if you don't want to, you could just mill out stuff. Next up is Metalzoa. We run 2, only due to the fact that you can't special summon this if it's in hand or graveyard. It has to be in the deck, which is kind of a dumb thing, because like with a monster with this much attack and no special ability, it's kind of very annoying that it doesn't do that. So granted, you could get away without even having to bring this out, but you know, it's worth the challenge to actually try to bring this out in the first place. So, for example, the fact that he's 3,000, and then you can easily bring out a Zoa or something, you know, just for beating down your opponent's stance. In other terms of him having 3,000 attack, that's like always good for us having 3,000 attack. Why even bother with him? Well, there's no deck recipes around him, and I really always wanted to see someone build a deck with this ever since I saw him in a TV show. So, pretty good. And if you know, if you do end up drawing him, you can either it's actually up there now that I look at it, you can either A, Allure Darkness him, or B, send him back with Daigusto Emerald if it gets in the grave. I wanted to throw Hand Destruction in here, but I don't see room. So, if you draw into him, well, I don't know what to really tell you about that then. You do really badly, or he's not great to draw into, let's just leave it at that. 3 Mystic Tomato helps you search out the deck. You can special summon a dark with 1500 or less attack if he's destroyed by battle. So you can bring out Summoner Monk. I'm testing him at 1, but I might put him at 2. Don't know yet. Basically what I thought was you normal summon him, discard a spell, and then make Daigusto, or even bring out Armageddon to mill out Zoa to make Daigusto and whatever. I try to not go for Dark Ifigi because I believe I don't run double summon in here. If I ran double summon, I would probably go for Dark Ifigi right away. So, pretty nice. He's a simple go for rank 4. So, next up we have Tragoedias. This is just I had 1, but I have 2 right now because I'm replacing for another card that I thought was pretty good, but then ended up not being that great. So, also another thing is he can steal level 7s because of the fact of Zoa. That's what you usually do. And he can steal level 4s or whatever's. And even if you are dueling against level 8s, you can get Metal Zoa that way too. Or you can steal a monster that's level 8. So Metal Zoa is useful in that way. Also, when you throw something in the grid, or you can change its level, so you can go like change level to 7, and then do Daigusto and bring Zoa back, and then make a rank 7, which is always really nice. So onto the spells, we have 1 Allure Darkness, because we run a whole deck on dark monsters, so drawing 2 and banishing 1 dark isn't too much of a problem. Especially if... And I forgot to put myself on busy. Wait for that to go away. I totally forgot to put myself on busy. Sorry about that. So, yeah. Especially if you draw into Metal, you really only technically need 1. So you can banish Metal if you have it in hand, which is always good because he could be a dead card in hand. Next up is Ancient Rules. You can act. I have 1. I have this at 1, and here's a little thing that kind of gets in my way with this kind of deck. Is the fact that if I run 1 Ancient Rules and I have like 2 Silent Dooms and Swing of Memories, then I tend to draw into Zoa, or I tend to draw into Zoa a lot more. But you might ask, well, why don't I just run 2 Ancient Rules? If I run 2 Ancient Rules, I tend to mill them out quicker, and then I don't have my Silent Dooms and Swing of Memories. But, you know, it's not really too bad to draw into Zoa, due to the fact you have Dark Ifigis and stuff, so. And there's plenty of, like, level 7 monsters that you can steal. So yeah, Ancient Rules is a must, I believe, but you could get away with taking it out and just going with like a mill kind of thing instead of, you know, this. But for right now, I'm just testing it out in the deck, and it seems to work pretty nicely. Especially since Zoa is a 2600 beater, so not too much gets over him. Dark Hole, pretty nice, destroys all monsters on the field. 2 MST, get rid of back row. 2 Polyduality, reveal 3, and add 1. It does tend to become a problem if you're trying to special summon out Zoa or something, but other than that, it's not too bad. Reinforcement Army. I tend to add Graffer, only because he's the only thing I would believe is not. So, yeah, he's the only thing that's not searchable other than Melzoas and Zoas. I mean, like level 4 wise, like Mystic Tomato can't get him out, but Summoner Monk can. But I don't want to rely on Summoner Monk to get out Graffer. I'd rather have Summoner Monk go for Armageddon and have Armageddon mill out Zoa and make Daigusto that way. So, and 1700 is pretty nice. So, reinforcements pretty good in the deck. 2 Silent Dooms. For anyone that actually doesn't know what this does, is you target one normal monster and you special summon it face up defense. Now it can't attack, and that's usually pretty much a bad thing, but you do tend to use this to go for rank 7s. So yeah, if you have like a Zoa and then you Silent Doom to get another Zoa, and then you make a rank 7, and then, well, I'll get into what happens after that, but you make Draco Sack or something, and then you special summon tokens. And then when I get to the card, I'll explain more. Summoner Art, pretty nice. Lets you add a normal monster from your deck to your hand. Helps us you search out a little more, which makes me wonder if I should play more ancient rules, but I don't know. I really only tend to use it because I have ancient rules and Dark Efigi. So, I mean, that might just be my whole opinion, but it works pretty nicely. 2 Swing of Memories, and this is where the Silent Doom thing comes in. So you make a rank 7, you discard or detach 1 Zoa, and then you get 2 tokens. Then you would go for Swing of Memories, and then you have 5,000, no. Yes, 5,200 attack points on board, which is really nice. And if you have the Metal Morph, and then you use Silent Doom, and you make Melzoa, or you make Zoa, and then use the ability to get Melzoa, then you use the effect of Swing of Memories to get Zoa, then it's all very good, because that's 5,600 damage on board. And also the fact that you possibly can get Dark Armed out too, so it's pretty much like an OTK. This deck has OTK before, but it's not like very simple to do it. Well, it's very simple in the way to do it, but it's not simple where you have to actually kind of work to get to it. So, Swing of Memories, if you were actually curious, because I didn't really explain it. You special summon 1 normal monster from your graveyard, and it is destroyed during the end phase. So, 1 Bottomless gets rid of stuff that you need to. Compulse, you know what that does. Double D Prison, basically the traps are just like very heavy base traps, which would make you wonder why there's no Trenchel either, but oh well. Dimensional Prison helps protect. Double Metal Morph, more the main trap to focus. So you get Zoa out by Silent Doom, Swing of Memories, Ancient Rules, Daigusto Phoenix, or Daigusto Emerald, my bad. And you're sitting there with it. Then you would go Metal Morph. Even with Swing of Memories, you would still do like Metal Morph because it gets 300 more attack. And if it attacks, it gains half the opponent's attack, or monster's attack. So, which, yes, if you're curious, it is 1,000 times better just to keep Zoa equipped with Metamorph instead of going for Melzoa. But for the sake of trying to make a Melzoa deck, I definitely am trying to get to Melzoa. So that's why we even bother having, which, you know, Melzoa, not really the best card to have around. Kind of useless in my opinion. But, you know, for the sake of funness, like, or for fun, is definitely, like, this deck is really good in my opinion. So yeah, anyways, Metamorph, you bring back Zoa, even with Swing of Memories, so you attack with Swing of Memories, equip to Metamorph. Then during main phase 2, you special summon out Mel Zoa, since your Zoa is gonna get destroyed anyways. And then you're like, okay, I'm good to go. And then they have to sit there dealing with a 3000 attack point monster. Yeah, it's pretty easy to get rid of it. Yeah, you could run Safe Zone, but I decided not to, because why not? Or why even bother? Which is, if you really want to protect Melzoa more better than I have, then I would say probably take out Ancient Rules and take out a Summoner's Art maybe, and throw in 2 Forbidden Lance, and that would be good, or maybe a Forbidden Dress. Either way, if you wanted more protection. But this deck, I've tried it so many times, and it protects Zoa very easily. Let's see. So we have the Mirror Force, the destroy stuff, and attack. 2 trap stun to negate traps. So basically, what I thought was 2 attack, and then your opponent goes Mirror Force, and then you trap stun, and then you basically win because he can't do anything. It's pretty nice, actually. But yeah, as I said, if you feel like there's a lack of protection, definitely take out Ancient Ruins and maybe a Summoner's Art, and add in 2 Forbidden Lance if you really want more protection. But I'm fine with the protection I have now on it. For the extra deck, 2 Diamond or Daigusto Emerald is good, as if you're running anything that involves using a normal monster, definitely run him, because he can bring back normal monsters from the grave. Diamond, basically all these other level 4s are just level 4s I run in the deck because, you know, or rank 4s I run in the deck that works. So Lavable Chain, yeah, definitely good to mill out Zoas, or even put Zoa on top of the deck. Not really needed, but, you know, I usually just add a Dark Armed on top. Make sure not to add Metal Zoa, and you should be fine. A Strokes, pretty nice. Big Eye and Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosac, definitely needed. Well, it's not needed, but I would say it's definitely a good addition to the deck, because you can get 2 level 7s really easy in this deck and just beat down your opponent. If you don't like Dracosac and Big Eye, then you could trade it out for whatever you want. Maybe a Gaia Charger, I guess. But I feel like these are the 2 like better ones. Just saying. Utopia's there to stop attacks. I don't really know what else. Like, as I said, I just threw in a bunch of random rank 4s. And there's 2 level 10s, because, as I said, there was supposed to be a card that wasn't supposed to be like Tragoedia. It was supposed to be something else, and I'll show you in a second. But yeah, these 2 are for like level 10s if you get 2 Trags out, so. Which you can, it's not impossible. And wind up Zen mains, because, well, why not? And someone's going to point out there's no level 3s, and I'm very aware there's no level 3s, but I don't really know what else to say. Like, I'm very aware there's no level 3s in this deck, but I just tend to throw in Zen mains into everything, because, you know, what else am I going to throw in here that would really make a difference? I mean, I guess technically take out Zen mains and throw in another Emerald, but at the point of how this deck works right now, it's not really super needed, because, you know. And this is the other card I thought about running, but you tend not to get the Fiends quick enough, so I don't care about it. And Double Custom is not searchable by a Mystic Tomato, so it kind of slows down the deck, but it is definitely a good 1700 beater if you need it. And Ancient Rules, because, you know, it's good. So I definitely give the deck a 8 out of 10 on the fun ratio. As for how it plays, it actually plays decently well. As I said, if you want more protection, just throw in Forbidden Lance or even Safe Zone, I guess. But I think you have enough protection and it shouldn't bug you too much. I tried looking around this, like, base my Zoa deck off of others, and the only Metal Zoa decks I could find is the ones that are based around, like, the Game Boy Advance games. And now I could be wrong. There's probably some, like, forum somewhere that tells you how to make Metal Zoa decks easy. And I looked at the wiki and stuff on how to do it, so yeah, there's other traps like Birthright and stuff, you could bring them out easy. But I don't want to run those. I want to get them out quickly and beat down my opponent. So yeah, it's pretty much a really good way to do it. Also, I know there's no Phoenix Chains or effect failures. So in that case, if you really wanted to, take out 2 trap stuns and throw in Phoenix Chains if you want. Or even if you wanted to take out the Ancient Rules and Summoner Art and throw in Forbidden Chalice. Or whatever you do, I guess. But this is basically all I'm going to continue to do with Melzoa's deck. This is the final version. You'll see tons of videos based around it. Didn't intend on doing so much with this deck, but it's definitely one of my funner decks. I haven't actually, I haven't made too much fun-based decks or random stuff, so make sure you give it a try. I'm reassuring you that you'll at least win 5 duels, maybe not in a row, but 5 duels. I don't know. So yeah, decks you need to watch out for is heavy trap-based decks like Trap Tricks. Trap Tricks are actually becoming a big problem because they play so much trap cards and just 60 card decks. Pretty annoying. Obviously the meta decks, spellbooks, and dragon rulers and whatever. Still a big problem, but whatever. I don't really know what else to say. Also try not to get Melzoa like brain controlled or something, or well, I guess brain control is banned, but taken, whatever. So I don't really know what else you could run into that would be a bad matchup. Oh, Dark Worlds. Dark Worlds is not fun to met. Dark Worlds is just like a bad matchup for everything. Like, Dark Worlds is just draw, and then activate Skill Drain, Dark Smog, and you're screwed. So, like, I'm not even kidding. That's really how it feels like when you're playing them. So, go ahead and leave your comments in the section down below. Tell me your thoughts. Did you enjoy the deck? Did you not enjoy the deck? Would you like me to make a Metal Red Eyes deck? Because I actually kind of want to do that. It's not going to be as hard because, dragons have billions and billions of support. And, it's more of a challenge for this one because Zoa doesn't. But, enough talking about it. I'll catch you guys later, and don't forget to leave your deck requests in the bottom comment section down below, as I'm always looking for those, but I don't seem to get those a lot nowadays. I got like 3 of them that I haven't gotten to, so well, there's like a few other ones. I have a list, but right now I'm not too worried about those. Just worrying about ones that have been recently asked at the current moment. So enough blabbing. Catch you guys later.